because I'm still kind of new to this, I need you guys to tell me like what are the rules around um clipping and looking at clips on YouTube. Because the thing is that I see people do it all the time, okay? I see people, streamers, even Vaush, doing it all the time, watching clips of other people's content, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Like I see them do it all the time. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it, but some people get copyright for it, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm watching his video where he is addressing the fact that everybody keeps calling him a pedophile. Like, Ethan Klein at the H3 podcast did like a whole like horse lolicon thing. And for years, people have been, saying that he's a pedophile. So this is him, I feel like, finally addressing it. And he's addressing all the clips that people have been circulating online on Twitter for years at this point and addressing them. The one thing I wanted to point out about, I'm still watching it, as you can see, I'm like halfway through, was how he's upset that people are being super uncharitable to him. People who are like jumping on the bandwagon, jumping to say that, he's a pedophile or likes bestiality or whatever, is, a creep. And he's here trying to explain, trying to put everything that he's ever said in context, right? And that's fine. The thing that really bothers me, though, about it is that, and this is a problem on the left broadly, but he's no exception, is the lack of uncharitability to others, but not to himself. Like, you see that on the left all the time, right? Like, people on the right really lift each other up. And by that, I mean, like, of course, there's some infighting on the right, but you see a lot of people on the right sharing each other's platforms, going on each other's shows, having relationships with each other, building media together, creating content together, uplifting each other, all in service of sharing a broader message, when you don't see that on the left. You don't see people broadly sharing values, sharing platforms, sharing each other's message, lifting each other up. It oftentimes takes the hall monitor like effect where people on the left seem more interested in tearing each other down and also like engaging in religious exercises where they're punishing people. Like the left loves to cancel people, they love to cancel each other. They love to engage in like ritualistic humiliation to try to make people feel bad or apologize. And there's no like shared elevation. Like, I'm going to help this person and elevate this community, all in service of our shared goal. Like, you don't see that. You so often see people on the left like competing with each other and basically gatekeeping and acting like they there's scarcity. Like they have like a scarcity mindset. Like, I know I'm saying like a lot. Ugh, trying to get the habit of that. Um, there seems to be this scarcity mindset on the left of gatekeeping. Like there isn't enough for everyone to be a part of it. Right? Like you have to be the person that's the best at this, and then you get to be the only person that's doing that, and you put down everybody else that's doing it and shit on them because there's not that much space for everybody. You have to take that lane, and in order for you to take that lane, you got to put everybody else down. When like I don't know why there's that scarcity mindset. I don't know why people on the left engage in that so often, because there's enough for everyone. There is enough for everybody to be a part of it. And there's enough for everybody to help each other, encourage each other, elevate each other, and spread the message together. But that's not what happens. And I think that the thing that I find frustrating and annoying about this whole Vaush drama is from him, what I find annoying from him is that he understandably wants charitability from people. He wants people to listen to his video, to understand what he's saying, to understand the context and explain why he said the things he said, or why he was acting like an idiot or a debate bro or whatever. But he doesn't give that same charity to anyone. Like anyone. I mean, he regularly makes enemies and he will blame them for it. But I've watched Vaush a lot. I've seen many of his streams over the years, and he is not charitable with people. He will take a clip that is out of context of another person who's on the left and then go off about what fucking morons they are and trash them and talk about how they're actually pieces of shit. And they're not really, leftists. They're actually fascists. And I mean, though he's done it with many people, but the one that's coming into my head right now is obviously Anna Kasparian from TYT, who has done so much great work on progressive issues over the last 2 decades that their show has been on. But rather than being charitable to her at all, immediately, or Jank for that matter, immediately under the bus, you're trash. He's calling her transphobic. He called her a fucking bitch. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Saying there was a gas leak at TY. Like, it took you no time to be totally uncharitable to them, call them names, and get your audience to hate them. But you want everybody to be charitable to you. You showed no charitability toward Crystal Ball. You've at times not shown charitability to Kyle Kalinske. And again, and then you want people to be charitable to you. Like, then you can't burn bridges with everybody and talk shit and tell everybody that they're a fucking moron and then be upset that people don't like you. Do I feel like some people are unfair to Vaush? I think some people are. Some people are unfair to him, and some people haven't really given him a chance or been charitable to him. I'm just saying, if you're going to be totally uncharitable to people and you're going to watch one clip of someone or a couple clips of someone and then tell your entire community that they should fucking hate them because they're fucking stupid, then you can't really be upset and butthurt when people don't like you or aren't charitable to you and don't want to look at the context that you're trying to put in place. Anyway, the moral of the story and my take on it is that, like, I don't personally think that Vaush is a pedophile. I think that, it's everybody says stupid shit, especially people that are in the debate circuit, and I understand his explanations. I just think that maybe he should extend some of that empathy and understanding to other people. And he's not the only one. I'm not saying he's the only one. There are other people on the left that their whole content, their whole channel is just rage farming and putting down other people on the left. And that doesn't mean that, like, if you are on the left and you do commentary, that you never should call out someone who's on the left. It doesn't mean that you should never say when they're doing something wrong or like be cult like the right wing. Like, no, of course. Like, if somebody's doing something ridiculous or embarrassing, there's nothing wrong with calling them out. But there is a difference between doing a video where you make a joke about something somebody said that was stupid or cringe, or you're talking about something where you're calling someone out for something that they did that was wrong. There's a difference between that and actually going full bore, they're a terrible person. I'm going to trash them as a human being, their character, them as people. That's very different than critiquing someone's content. And Vaush regularly goes over that line from critiquing or even joking or making fun of someone's content to making them out to be monsters. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that maybe he reflects on that. Maybe he just thinks about like the way that his actions and the way he talks about other content creators or the way he makes them seem like bad people maybe isn't the best thing to do. And instead of just being like, people hate me because they hate me, like, why don't you make any effort to try to build relationships with other content creators or other people in your space or other people on the left, even if they're not content creators? Like, build alliances with them instead of just putting them down and then being like, oh, well, they just don't like me because they don't like me because I don't know, I'm such a king. I just think in general that there needs to be a lot more solidarity between people on the left in general than there is. A lot more charitability from people on the left than there is. I mean, I know that the right are creeps and that they're in a cult, but there are some things that we could learn from them. And one of the things is that they take their message and what they're trying to get out to the world really seriously, and they build media apparatuses accordingly. And they make sure that they're elevating each other and the message and that it gets out rather than putting each other down.